All right, boys, we are blessed today by we are joined by none other than one Mr. Vlad Sedler of FTN. You might know him a little bit better as RotoGut. When it comes time to ask who should I take in fantasy baseball, I know the exact person that I want to be asking, and it is Mr. Vlad. So thank you very much for sharing some of your time with me today, bro.
What is going on, man? Always good to talk to you, catch up. It's been a while, and it's baseball season. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's 21 days until pitchers and catchers report. So we've got that one locked in. My Kansas City Royals are spending some money this year, which is beautiful. Your Los Angeles Dodgers also spending some money, signing Kyle Tucker to roughly $1 billion deal. Dodgers a little bit more annoying of a fantasy baseball team than you would think, given how much they rotate their guys. It's actually the pitchers, honestly, that are more annoying than anything. But let's not dilly-dally. Let's not waste any time. Vlad, you are huge in the NFBC streets. You do a lot of the draft and holds. You do, the main event, weekly lineups and everything. How different is your strategy when you're not having to worry about categories? Like, is that actually so freeing for you to hop into MLB Best Ball and Underdog and be like, well, I don't care how many steals this dude gets. I don't care about this guy's batting average. I just care about stone cold points.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, but because it is so different, unique, a little bit more, novel. The game's only been around for 4 years. It's there's a lot more into it, especially when you're used to the Roto, been doing it for so long, kind of get the flow of everything. This is a completely different animal, and it's a bit tougher to tackle. Usually where I start is with our own projections and just figuring out what the raw point totals are for those guys, seeing where the ADP is at, and then usually I do my own ranking. So specifically for Underdog, I have these VDP, basically top 265, so you get a little bit more than the 240, and I'm updating those. I'm tweaking those twice a week, and then so that formula has something, I guess, equivalent to like FPROS's ECR. It's just basically like the difference between the ADP and then my ranking the VDP, essentially your delta. And that's helping me find where the values are and where the players are that I'm looking to avoid entirely.
So those of you, if you're just like a little bit new to fantasy baseball, I mean, you could actually honestly build this yourself. Now, they're probably not going to be as good as Vlad's are. And if you guys want to check those out, you can get them over at ftnfantasy.com. They are going to have a seasonal draft package. So if you're not going to be playing DFS or whatever, and you're just like, all right, I just want some good rankings, I want to know what I'm doing over on Underdog, you're going to be able to get those over on FTN. I actually am going to do this myself. So this is maybe just more of a check for myself, but basically anyone could do this. I'm just going to download these projections. I'm going to feed it into whatever LLM, and I'm going to give it Underdog scoring. I'm going to say, just create some rough, shitty rankings based off of this. I really like to use Cardi's projections. I really like to use the BAT X. Now, using the BAT, we talked about this a little bit last time with Nez. If you use the BAT, the rookie projections are going to be really bad because Cardi doesn't believe that rookies are ever any good. So they're just going to be giga nuked. And what you will obviously find out over on Underdog is these are the same people, Vlad, who love rookies in fantasy football. So like Connor Griffin, it goes 168 overall. Like this is just always true in fantasy anything. There's just always a premium to be paid when you haven't seen it yet.
No doubt. And it's because of all of the potential upside and, of course, a lot of risk. Like you're talking about Connor Griffin, and I'm sure a lot of people watching the show here are familiar with him because you're baseball people. That's why probably you're watching. Or maybe you just wanted to get into Underdog baseball. But basically, I mean, Connor Griffin is potentially like the next Bobby Witt. I mean, he's just banging. A month ago, when the other contest, the bullpen was happening, I mean, his ADP, Connor Griffin's, was around 220. Now it's 160. People really want those rookies. And then you were mentioning about the projections, like no doubt the BAT, Cardi, really good with those. Another thing for a good idea might be even to aggregate some projections. So you can use Cardis, you can use ATC, Fangraph's depth chart, FTN, whoever's you want. But do note that a lot of those rookies, I mean, they are projecting at 50th percentile outcome. And you're going to have a lot of these guys way lower on projected plate appearances, which means you'll be lower on the projected points.
100%. And I mean, obviously you can edit that. You can, there used to be a way, maybe there isn't anymore, where you could work on these projections on Fangraphs, where like you could change the plate appearances and stuff. I don't know if you can still do that. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of Major League Baseball tools out there. So honestly, selfishly, well, actually, before we get into kind of some guys a little bit deeper down the list, I want to talk to you about roster construction. Kind of the conventional wisdom is 7 pitchers, 7 infielders, 6 outfielders, really heavy on the outfield early. I mean, you guys are looking at the rankings right now. The first round is 80% outfielders. By the time you get to the 24th pick, you have 14 outfielders gone. Just kind of from a real macro perspective, how do you think about roster construction and team building in these drafts?
Yeah, when you start to get into these, it's really hard not to go the approach of going outfielder heavy. And so a lot of names that people are playing baseball with, you're thinking of guys that go like in the hundreds in a regular draft, like an Ian Happ. The dude is a top 40 pick because he walks, he gets on base, he gets lots of plate appearances. So outfielders come at a true premium. And there are pockets throughout the entire player pool, the 20 rounds, the 240 picks, where it's better to wait on things. Big conventional approach that you mentioned, one is the infielders, right? Like there are so many great infielders available after pick 200 that there's really no reason to rush them. And so you kind of have to get a little bit uncomfortable taking some of those outfielders that maybe don't feel like early picks in order to make it work. Pitchers, I'm seeing the top guys there. People are waiting on them. Like, I can usually grab, Tariq Skubal at the end of the second if I, want to. In most drafts, he's usually going past his ADP. Same with Skeens and Crochet. I'm seeing those guys in the 3rd round, which is after pick 24. Yamamoto, forget about it. You could pretty much get them, anytime after. So pitchers are getting pushed. With all that said, there is something to be said about zigging when people are zagging, right? If everybody's doing things a specific way, a lot of times what wins is something that's opposite. So maybe that's something that we could, look into on the show.
I mean, I would say there is such conventional wisdom on how to build rosters for something that, has not existed that long, as you mentioned, only going into year 4, which again, is not to say that it's not right, but compare it to fantasy football that we've been doing on Underdog for 6 years. Conventional wisdom or not, like there are a lot of different strategies that have been tested that people do. I mean, the tournaments are really large, but like, I'm going to start 4 straight running backs. I'm not going to take a running back till round 8. And like, that can all kind of work. It's a little bit harder in Major League Baseball because to some degree there is no replacement. Like Kyle Tucker cannot be replaced. Kyle Schwarber cannot be replaced. Jose Ramirez can't be replaced. Now there will be sleepers. There will be guys who break out, but there won't necessarily be, you're not going to get the Arian Foster thing that happens in fantasy football where like a truly unheralded guy can finish as one of the 3 highest scoring guys in the entire sport. It's just not really the way baseball works because, baseball is a meritocracy. You get fantasy points by being good at the sport. You can't just exist and be out there. You could give the worst batter 700 plate appearances leading off for the Dodgers, and they'd still probably not be good in fantasy, even if they got all those plate appearances.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. I mean, it really is. Also a big part of it is the offenses that you're on, right? Like you're not going to get as much bark for your bite on, your White Sox stacks, for example, compared to the Dodgers or Blue Jays or Yankees that are just turning lineups over. They're scoring 10 plus runs on a lot of these games. And, especially when you get them in clusters or you're getting them in specific playoff weeks, it makes a really, really big difference. So I think attacking good offenses, as obvious as it seems, is a really good rule of thumb.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if stacking in baseball, like season long, is as intuitive as it is in fantasy football. Like, oh, the quarterback gets the points with the wide receiver. Obviously, it's super intuitive for DFS. Like everyone just knows, well, yeah, I put the guys together because they're going to score 8 runs in the same game. And I want my first baseman to homer in my shortstop. Like everyone gets that. But from a seasonal perspective, I mean, I talked about this with Nez last week as well. Like if we get, I don't know, the Athletics score 9 runs per game in one of the 2 final weeks of the season, like you have a huge leg up on everyone, so I think that is pretty clear. Which is not to say that there are not sleepers in fantasy baseball. There are always going to be sleepers in fantasy baseball. It's a very unpredictable sport. But I mean, I guess Cal Raleigh, I guess, was he a top 100 pick last year? I mean, he was
in regular fantasy. He was definitely not in Underdog.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, you to say that I guess Cal Raleigh was legitimately an Arian Foster style season where he ended up. Did he win? And I honestly don't remember. Did he or Judge win MVP?
No, he did not win, but he had basically,
Robbed.
I mean, the greatest season for a catcher ever. But ironically, he had the 3rd best season in fantasy because Ohtani and Judge were better.
Because well, PCA actually ended up sucking after a while. PCA looked like he was going to be an MVP candidate for what didn't he like win a like 6 weeks where he was batting like .098 or something.
Second half was atrocious. And it's funny because now in real drafts and in Underdog drafts, he's going around pick 30. And so obviously the market isn't really scared. They want that 30-30 upside.
Yeah. All right. Very selfishly, before we hop into a draft, I've had a problem that I would imagine a fair number of people in my brain space have had, which is like, oh, I know who Robbie Ray is, and I know how Fangraphs works, and I know about Coors Field. No, Kerry Carpenter, Kerry Bonds, really good against left-handed pitching. It's right about here. Right about when we get to like 170, and I'm like, okay, well, Zach Gallen's not signed. People say Chase DeLauder is good. I don't know. Sal Frelick, he's like a $2,800 guy in salary cap DFS on DraftKings. I don't know about that. So just very selfishly, kind of like after like pick 160, 200-ish, can you give me some legitimate sleepers that you are clicking right now?
So a few guys, if we're talking like even 200s, guys that should be going, that are going after 200, that should be going within the top 200. I would say, for example, Matt Wallner for the Minnesota Twins. So this is a guy going the 20th round. Dude mashes, barrel rate around 15, 16%. One of the hardest hitters in the league. He's going to get full playing time for the Twins that now have a little bit of a depleted roster. And he's not going to be a platoon guy. So he's going to get every day at bats. He's a bit of a sneaky outfielder. Jordan Walker's going in the 20th round right now. I know a lot of people joke about Driveline and the lack and making fun of it or whatever, but it has legit improvements and effects on players. And Jordan Walker is somebody who was an incredible prospect, had an excellent rookie year, if you look at that first year, and then has just been completely lost in the last 2 seasons. And so, this is a guy that I swear to you has, 20 potential. You're talking 1,000, 1,100 plus Underdog points.
I'm for sure going to fall for this one because he's just, as James says, he is literally the Kyle Pitts of Major League Baseball, best ball. All these types of guys, the fallen star prospects, Jared Kelnick, Michael Conforto. I chase these guys forever. So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, a lot of guys like that. As we go through it, especially I don't know how long we're going to be, I'll be on for drafting with you, but I mean, there are a ton of them. There's really a ton of guys out there.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and go hop in one if you guys are not there yet. 8.1% full already, only 93,000 entrants this year. They made it a little bit smaller and they increased the size of the prize pool, and we are going to rip a dinger here on Underdog, and we got the 8th pick, which I don't think you can complain about that. Gives you some options there.
Look at all the badges up in there, and you got all the familiar names. I'm in like 35 slows right now at the moment of these, and I'm seeing a lot of the same familiar names. What's up, Nez?
Yes. So last year I did 81 of these. Tyler Soderstrom was my most drafted hitter. Love it. Should have went really well. Didn't end up going that well. I fell victim to something that I think a lot of people fall victim to in fantasy baseball, which is I just drafted tons of starting pitchers who never got called up. Bubba Chandler was my highest exposure pitcher. Very hard to generate fantasy points if you don't get called up. Obviously, one of the things that you do really like in this format about taking pitchers who who are young, right, is that they are theoretically they're a little bit more likely to be healthy because their innings are going to be managed when they're in the minor leagues, and then they're getting called up later in the season when the fantasy points are a little bit more important. Whereas if you build your roster with a bunch of Kevin Gausmans, I mean, those dudes can go at any time.
Yeah, that's true. And it's funny, you just happen to hit on the guy, Bubba Chandler, that was a rare case of a top heralded prospect, top pitching prospect who just never got his chance. And of course, that's Pirates doing pirate things. So hopefully they don't do the same thing with Connor Griffin this year.
Really, 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 really unfortunate. All right, so we're picking at 8 here. First round goes Ohtani, Judge, Soto. I actually, when possible, like to take Bobby Witt and then just try and figure it out at outfield after that. Because I mean, in terms of like projected fantasy points, I mean, Bobby Witt is going to score a lot more fantasy points than Tatis and Julio Rodriguez probably.
Yeah, I mean, he's a position, forgetting position, you're talking about a top 3 guy. And the thing is, when you do take a Bobby Witt, it kind of changes the construction a little bit. So if you're not comfortable with, say, like a Jackson Churio in the second as your first outfielder, then sometimes you may have to skip on that. So I like him a little bit more at his ADP where he's going like 7, 8.
All right, you tell me. Bobby, Tatis, Julio.
Let's go Bobby and see what comes with it from there, because we can get.
So in terms of reading the room, I am going to guess that there's probably not going to be too many mistakes made here in terms of the, starting pitchers going too early, disregarding outfield. I mean, something you'll notice if you are doing fast drafts and you get in a pretty sharp room is you will get to about pick 90 and your queue is going to look like this. It looks like this.
Yeah.
You don't see any outfielders. You get to about pick 80, 85, and you're like, oh, there's no outfielders. Where did all the outfielders go? So it is something to keep in mind.
I'll tell you, Rafael Devers is a bit of a trap there. I think around the turn is he's strangely at outfield, even though he's an infielder. And I think people look at his past season's fantasy points, forgetting also all the at-bats he had last year. I feel like a lot of the guys around him, you're going to get a lot more of. So I think you're in for a little bit of disappointment. Not to be a hater, just saying.
Do you have a favorite of these outfielders? Rooker, Wood, Churio, could take Kurtz.
I like Rooker. I think you take everything you can with athletics and the athletic stacks because of that home park. I mean, it's a minor league park. It's in Sacramento. It's going to be like 100+ degrees in the summer. It's kind of a smash. The fact that he's even there now because Rooker's ADP has been moving up, I think that's a pretty good spot.
Would you care to guess whose jersey this is? It's not a recent one. It's no one who's on the team. In fact, this guy is a retired player.
Zito?
No, he was a super slugger. I don't think he ever won an MVP, but he did have a 40 home run season. So this was like 2015-ish, like kind of the last really good athletics team before they went down sorrow.
So it has to be Matt Olson. Is it retired guy, Tejada?
Yoenis Cespedes.
Who forgot he even existed.
He was, dude. I'm saying there. Wow, there we go. Ball knower, Murray Lime got it. Yeah. This is going to be my thing, because I have a bunch of old random Major League Baseball jerseys. I just really like them. So every time I stream baseball, I'm going to try and toss a different one on. So we got Bobby Witt Jr. and Rooker here. When we are coming back up, there is we get in this interesting range of outfield where you really kind of have to start to wish cast on these guys. I mean, obviously wish casting on PCA. Jackson Merrill he was just brutal last year. I guess he was hurt. Is the explanatory variable for Jackson Merrill. I actually kind of like Riley Green a little bit. Taylor Ward is like the most underdog style outfielder of all time. Like I would imagine he does not. Is he even a top 100 pick in Roto?
He's not, but he's very underpriced in Roto. He's going like around 150. My Roto rankings has him closer to like 130. And then here as well, like since we've been drafting the I forgot what you call the bullpens. I have so much Taylor Ward. In fact, I highly recommend people, other than people going up against us, of course, draft as many Orioles as you can. Just grab those guys. They're going to lead the American League in runs. They're going to go off. Alonso, who I did not even love last year, and I was wrong on, it's going to be a perfect fit there. You got the walls pulled in. Gunnar Henderson, is actually a reason to not take Bobby Witt infielder in the first round, like smash infielder in the second round. Huge MVP candidate this year. 30-30 guy, walks, does everything. So I'm a big Baltimore guy.
What do you have for Adley Rutschman plate appearances? Can he be like a 570 plate appearance guy, or is he more like 462?
He was he was hurt last year. He hasn't been like fantasy relevant in 3 seasons. A huge disappointment. Now you got Samuel Basayo, the stud rookie who even signed a contract. He's probably going to DH. I think Rutschman's going to get a chance to hit in the middle of the lineup and get close to 550, 600 plate appearances. I'm not going out of my way to click on him, but when I have a Gunnar Ward type team and he's just available there after his ADP a few rounds, I need an infielder. I'll go ahead and click him.
Yeah, that's a guy I can't. That's a guy I can't give up on at all. I just think he's too good. I think he is way too talented. All right, so we've got Bobby Witt, we've got Rooker, PCA, Arozarena. PCA goes. So this is what we're looking like right now. Best pitcher is Yamamoto.
Best pitcher is Yamamoto. This is at around 32. I know you're short on time. I'm trying to look here who I have around here. I mean, Jackson Merrill is okay.
I do like him.
Yeah, it's hard to.
We'll go Jackson Merrill. I mean, the idea with Jackson Merrill is that you just say last year was the fluke, not the year before, and you say it's just bad vibes, injury, played hurt. When you play hurt, your batted ball data gets worse. Your batted ball data gets worse, then your projection's going to get worse, and it just kind of floods down. And it feels expensive to pay 32nd overall for a guy who was that bad last year. But Arozarena has had huge long slumps. PCA has had huge long slumps. White Langford has had huge long slumps. Like, it's kind of just it costs what it costs situation.
I mean, not to mention going into last season, he was a second round fantasy pick. So we know the potential is there. Can't really fault the guy for being hurt. And, ownership stuff and issues they have there in San Diego aside, hopefully that doesn't distract them. But the Tatis, Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill trio is phenomenal. I think those guys will hold their weight.
Yeah, and I mean, you can draft all those dudes together as well. A lot of the time, which is pretty nice, almost exactly lines up. Okay, we are up. We have 1 infielder, 2 outfielders. I mean, I do like Soderstrom. I do like Ward. Okay. Do we think that Bellinger might sign with the Orioles? I
think he's going to sign with the Yankees. I would go Soderstrom to go with my Rooker. I know you said you're not big on stacking, but I think when you kind of look a gift horse in the mouth if you don't.
No. I am big on stacking.
Okay.
I want to go. I would prefer to like overstack if anything, because it probably makes your regular season outcomes slightly worse, just because some weeks like a rain out could like ruin your score for 1 week or whatever. But it makes your playoff week ceiling so much higher than it would be if they were all just like independent.
And it's especially strong when you have like strong, good hitting environments, like good offensive contexts, like the Sacramento Park, like the fact that it's the A's, especially if they're hitting in the lineup next to each other, because then you have some correlation there, right? Like someone, Rooker's on base, Soderstrom comes on after him, hits a home run, they all get points. So it's different than football, of course, but there's still definitely correlation when guys are close to each other in the lineup.
What are some of your favorite team level stacks to be on? Is there anyone late? Like, is there like the first hitter on this team doesn't go till pick 80 type thing? Do you ever look at it that way?
So crazy enough, for the second year in a row, I like late round St. Louis Cardinals. And so, listen, it could fail 2 years in a row. And of course that team could fall apart, but there's just too much good value there. Like somebody like Ivan Herrera, who is legit on the borderline of becoming, he's an above average hitter. I think he's ready to take another step forward. Like he's going to be playing every day. He'll be doing some DH, some catcher. There are other guys on that team. They'll probably trade Brendan Donovan, but there are other really good pieces, and they're all available after 200. So I do like the Cardinals.
That's holy shit. That's actually wild. They all go after 200. Even their pitchers. The Cardinals don't have a single player inside the top. I mean, that's I can't even believe it. That's so insane.
Mason Wynn, he should be fine. He says he's going to run again. He had like a knee surgery to fix a meniscus a few months ago. I think he's going to be just totally fine. He's somebody else that I have above. By the way, I think everyone probably knows this. Don't draft any Cardinals pitchers. Just like run, stay away. There's nobody there to take on that staff. Not even if you're getting crazy in 150.
Yeah, and they don't even. I mean, they like organizationally teach their guys like not to get strikeouts, which in the current meta of baseball doesn't seem very wise. We can answer this after we make this pick. We can talk about the Dodgers pitchers. All right, we are up in one pick. All right, we are up. We could go back to infield now. I do like Buxton. We have Witt, Rooker, Merrill, Soderstrom. I like O'Neal Cruz. I like Byron. I like Butler. Anyone doing anything for you here?
I mean, if you just want the like raw points, you're going to get action every week. You could go with a second infielder there with Machado to go with your Merrill. I think Lawrence Butler works in your A's build, and I think Buxton is maybe like the best pure upside guy there.
Let's do Butler for the stack. I don't think I have any teams with a combination of Rooker, Soderstrom, and Butler together. And we might get Machado. I think you're right. Was the pure upside play there? But yeah, what is your opinion on the two start pitcher stuff? Because it is insanely important, very unpredictable, and the Dodgers, if you were to choose, probably would be the team that is least likely to give you a 2-start week from your pitchers in the postseason.
So I think it's one of those things like in real life advice, like don't worry about things that you can't control. You legit cannot control this. And we don't even know the Dodgers will be going, 6. I mean, a lot of teams say they're going to go 6-man before the season starts. You look at their depth, and then all of a sudden they're on a 5-man to start the year. That's exactly what the Dodgers, did last year. It took Ohtani a while to get back. And half those guys that get hurt like they do every year. So I think it's really something difficult to build around. And I hate to say it like, don't worry about things you can't control as not caring or like an easy out, but it really is the case. So you just, kind of draft the best that you can and hope for the best when you get to the playoffs.
I think that is very good advice. Like, I mean, if you maybe wanted to marginally change the impact that you could get, is just air older on your pitchers, just air guys who have thrown 180 innings or something like that. Like that really is about it. Damn. Okay. Reagan's went. That is a little bit disappointing. We are on the clock at 65. What are you thinking here?
I love, if you want to go pitcher, I love Woo and I love Gilbert. I love both those guys. All the recent projection systems that have come out, including FTNs, have Woo as like pitcher 4. I happen to think Gilbert's right there in the mix. So I think it's, dealer's choice.
I really like Bryan Woo, and that is a nice little anchor for our staff. Now, I believe this is true, which is that if you have 2 pitchers from the same team, so let's say you take, 2 Phillies pitchers, that would make it marginally more likely that you could get a 2-start week out of one of them. Yeah,
for sure. That makes sense.
But it is very hard it is very hard to control for that. So Bryan Woo, talk to me a little bit about what the FTN stuff likes about Woo and Gilbert.
Well, first of all, it's the home park that he's going to pitch half his games in, which is just built for pitchers. The fact that he showed a lot of improvement on with his strikeouts, his swinging strike rate. We already know the control is elite. He is legitimately one of the best elite, control guys in baseball. Now you're getting a tick in strikeouts. When I looked at FTN's projection for Woo for strikeouts, I'm like, wait, did a double take, started doing some, little background work. I'm like, okay, this checks out. And then when you start to see all the public projections on FanGraphs come out and in the same boat, it's telling you something. of course, the risk with Woo is always that he does have a lot of injury history. He even had some issues last season there in a key time in the playoffs. But he's a stud. I mean, that rotation is sick. I think if you want to go in on any rotation, really, that's a really good one. Although the one thing is what is it? The hard place meets a rock, or whatever that saying is. In the 2 weeks of the playoffs, the Seattle pitchers are going up against the A's hitters for 7 of the 14 games over the last
in Seattle or in
a mix.
Okay. Well, in Seattle, it's not as bad, right? I mean, not to say that the A's are horrible on the road or anything, but it's not nearly as bad when they're at home. So you could run hot there.
You can run hot, and it's actually advantage to the pitchers, because even if they go, into that park, it's going to be a little cooler at that time.
True.
Yeah, we're microwaving it, but yes, the pitchers.
Yeah, if you have not seen, so the deal with where the A's play, if you've never seen it, is basically the deal is it's a minor league stadium, so it's not built up around it, so the wind just goes through it. It's like you're standing in a field. It's Major League Baseball dimensions. Like, it's not like a bandbox or whatever. Okay, so we are up in 2 picks here. We're at pick 80. We have 1 pitcher, 1 infielder, 1 outfielder, and we are basically already at that spot that I mentioned earlier. You get to about pick 80, you look at the available players, and we're with a bunch of sharp drafters. So it is all infielders and outfielders. What are you thinking here?
Let's see. Probably a little early. I do have your boy Vinny. My ranking has him way higher than ADP. I've also got, let's see, already took Woo. Freddie Peralta's already taken. Bregman, Michael Harris.
What about, do you like Strider at all? I love buying on Strider.
Because I do exactly what you do. I'm like the prospect whore, so to sorry to say for any kids.
It's just like, okay, if you break the math down, it is so hard to win one of these tournaments anyways. Maybe it's a little bit easier when you're Vlad than when you're me. But how many times are you going to be able to draft someone like this? And he was so bad last year, even when he came back. But we're talking about multiple seasons of like the most insane K rates while limiting walks. I got it. At pitcher 14, I got to do it.
Yeah, when we see his velocity back up to his normal levels, or so we hope, in spring training, then all bets are off. Prices go up everywhere on a guy. So you're buying in on a little bit of hope that it's been 2 years and he's got almost a full season last year under his belt, and he's just going to figure it out because he's a stud. And the Braves are going to give him a lot of run support. The Braves are going to be fantastic this season.
There we go. I mean, and so I guess. Pitcher, I was saying you can't just kind of accumulate points. At pitcher, you can kind of accumulate points. Like, even if Strider doesn't get the velocity back and he kind of sucks and he has a 4.5 ERA, if he makes like 28 starts and wins 14 games and like kind of just is like getting through and grinding, I mean, he's going to be a bad pick at 80 overall, but he's not going to be a sunk your team pick. Like, he can probably still contribute.
Yeah, for sure. And he's in this pocket where he goes higher than guys that I feel are like on his level. Honestly, like Jesus Luzardo goes half a round later. Luzardo is, big strikeout guy, gets a lot of run support in Philly. So I think he's pretty solid. I think I don't want to give it away because there are people in this draft who are about to pick before you, but I got somebody on queue for you that I think we should pop early if we can. Because he's going to have a new price, if you know what I'm talking about.
Price of the brick is about to go up. Jacob deGrom just goes. In my memory, deGrom was way worse than Strider was. I don't even know if that's true. I mean, he wasn't great. All right, we are up.
I was going to say, let's see what your top list is. Go click on outfielders and I want to see something. Wait, is Luis Robert gone? Did someone else start the price?
Louis Robert is gone. Price of the brick.
Someone else raised the price of the brick. Damn it. Okay.
Well,
Willie Adames is solid. He's good for this format. I think William Contreras is a little sneaky, gets a lot of at bats. Jack, can't go wrong.
I have not taken Jack Caglione up. Now, why is the price on Robert higher? He just signed somewhere?
He just got traded late last night to the Mets. So he's freed. So this is a dude that a lot of injury issues over the course of his career, a little bit of concern about like his, motivation and all that. I mean, the team has been toying with him, wanting to trade him for the last year and a half. He's finally free. He's going to be part of this amazing offense. He's my highest roster player in NFBC and Underdog, everything. And so now where I've been taking him at like 95 when he goes at 105, I don't even know where he went here, probably in the 70s or 80s, but there's definitely a new price on him.
All right, there we go. I mean, are we thinking he's going to lead off for the Mets? Where are they going to bat him?
The good thing now is if you go, a lot of people are influenced, and rightfully so, because they do a good job, but Roster Resource that has the batting orders on Fangraphs, they'll pop guys in there where they think they're going to start the lineup. And when Robert was first traded, they put him 8th, which is not going to happen. Luis Robert Jr. is not going to hit 8th on this team. He's also not going to hit leadoff first, second, or third. Anywhere between 4th to 7th, 4th to 6th is probably my bet. But elite bat speed, elite, stolen bases, everything. The 2 big issues: he doesn't walk a lot, and he's always hurt. But listen, the sun shines on a dog's ass, every 3 years or so in baseball. So.
Is it? Wow. Did Semien find a way to? I remember Semien being so bad last year. He ended up grinding out 2.1 more.
He was.
I guess defensive war.
Yeah,
war.
He was pretty bad. I don't think he's going to hit as high in the lineup as people think.
Yeah. I
actually like the Mets. I've been making fun of the Mets for years, and
right.
People hate me for it in the industry. But I'm on the Mets, man. You get Bo Bichette and Robert Jr., my guilty pleasure. I love the Mets now.
Yeah. Well, and apparently people like this left fielder prospect Carson Benji.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't think, obviously they're probably not signing Bellinger now, but he might. We'll see. He has to have a good spring, I think, to make the team. I think they're going to have some other outs there. But his Roto draft price has been kind of high, and so we'll see. I mean, you could go with it as a 20th outfielder, but I think there are a lot of other ways to slice that.
All right, so we have 2 pitchers, 1 infielder, 5 outfielders: Bryan Woo, Spencer Strider, Bobby Witt, Brent Rooker, Jackson Merrill, Tyler Soderstrom, Lawrence Butler, and we skipped over it, but Jack Caglione, who is he's like, what's a good comp for him? Like Royals skinny Daniel Vogelbach or something like that. I don't know. I mean, he's
Caglione. I mean, him and Nick Kurtz were literally, that was the conversation when they first both came up. Caglione got hurt, Kurtz went off, but the hitting environment there is different. But that's changed now, right? You heard about that?
Kansas they brought the fences in. So we can do any of these pitchers, or we could take Jackson Holiday, Bryce Terang.
Did Miguel go? Miguel Garcia, he's gone, your boy?
I think he did go. Maybe. Yes, he did. Vinny is gone as well.
I think a pitcher, I haven't been clicking Wheeler. Who knows what's going on there? I've got Bradish, Gosman, and Schwellenbach and McLean as my next guys on the board personally.
Look at that. Look at those quick fingers. We got Kyle Bradish in there as our 3rd starting pitcher. Is he again, my memory for him is that he had some control stuff that he was trying to work out. Are we feeling better about that?
No, he's
been hurt too.
Yeah, he'd missed, year with Tommy John. He's always been a fantastic pitcher, but he came back and was absolutely dominant last year. He had 6 starts, just out of this world. His walk rate was around 7%. He had a 37% strikeout rate. So people are all, big on him. He's not going to have really an innings restriction too much. So I think, and a lot of run support from the Orioles. So I'm all about it.
Yeah. I'm with that. And I like buying on the Orioles. I love their offense. I mean, I love their offense last year, and things kind of went sideways, but just buying on them in general. And I just prefer taking a younger guy to taking Sonny Gray, Framber, Wheeler. I mean, give me a little bit of something to dream of. I like Jason Dominguez as well. Although if Bellinger signs there, I like him less, obviously.
Yeah, Bellinger, it's crazy what's going on with him. I actually have his Dodger. I had his Dodger poster or frame on the wall like a year longer than I should have, and who knows? Maybe I shouldn't have taken it off the wall. Maybe he'll be back. No, I'm kidding. Probably be a Yankee, maybe a Blue Jay, but
Maybe.
Blue Jays don't really have an outfield spot for him.
All right. Positionally, we are at a 3-1-5. So probably thinking about an infielder here. Langeliers goes with our stack. That would be our fourth athletic. Any of these guys really doing anything for you here at infielder?
I mean, you Suarez, doesn't matter where he goes. The guy mashes, ton of home runs. If you look at his last few seasons of annual points, it's just insane off the wall. I think Holiday is, I think he works. There was someone else I saw there. I'm comparing it to my rankings.
Outfielder,
Yandy
Diaz. We'll do.
I have Turang and Holiday. Yeah, I have Suarez, then Turang, then Holiday in that order in my rankings.
Where are we thinking that Suarez is likely to sign? Is there like an obvious spot for him right now?
Oh man, you know what? It's over the last month. There have been like 5 obvious spots, and it keeps rotating. He's like the backup option for whoever. There was a time where he might sign with the Cubs, and then it was Alex Bregman signed over there. I haven't checked in the last couple of days. I mean, I think he'll be fine wherever. You probably just, maybe where might suppress him a little bit might be like Detroit. So watch him get signed by Detroit. But I mean, I don't know. He can come back to Seattle. I don't know if I'm trying to think, is it Ben Williamson? Like that dude, I'm sorry. I hope he doesn't listen to your stream, but that dude sucks. So I hope he's not the third baseman there in Seattle. So maybe he goes back there.
Right now, the third baseman projection is indeed Ben Williamson, the 309th power ranked player via Fangraphs. So yeah, I mean, I would feels like they're probably. I mean, for a team that was as good as the Mariners was last year, they have some work to do. If Luke Raleigh, Rob Refsnyder, and Andrew Kanizer are your bench hitters, you don't really have bench hitters. So I would encourage them to make some kind of move. Well, is it still the thing that happened last free agency that is happening this free agency where dudes are waiting to sign till literally like the week of the season because the collective bargaining agreement is such a mess?
This whole offseason has been kind of a weird mess. Mostly all the big free agents are signed. Like at this point, it's just like Cody Bellinger, obviously, Framber Valdez, Zach Gallen, Suarez, and then, just a couple more guys like Verlander, maybe Scherzer, things like that. So Zach Gallen
last year was
bad.
Really bad. So this is funny. He did get 33 starts of really bad baseball. Let's go see how many points that was for Zach Gallen last year. 937 points, which again still is not nothing. I mean, it's nice. It's not good, but it's definitely, let me tell you, it was 937 more points than Bubba Chandler scored for my teams last year. I can tell you that much. Right. So we got a 3-2-5. We are about to be up at pick 128. Pitcher and infielder are big needs here. Can obviously take our final outfielder now if we want. Maybe we save a spot for Jordan Walker. I think
I think you wait on outfielder. I'm also not opposed to the going 7 approach there, even when I have some good ones. I think it might not be a bad place for a pitcher. I feel like there are enough infielders there. I like Gavin Williams and Brandon Woodruff. I think Brandon Woodruff, this is one of the best pitchers of the last 6 seasons. And he's healthy. He's fine now. And he was a beast when he came back last year as well. So I'm in on both those guys.
All right. Talk to me a little bit about Gavin Williams. Cause he was like, if memory serves, I don't want to say anything that is not correct, but he was like one of the young sleepery guys last year, generates, the flat 3 ERA, K rate holds pretty solid. The walks went up a little bit in his full sample, but pretty good season for Gavin Williams last year.
Yeah, so I think he led the majors in walks last year. So that's the one downside, but I think that'll improve a little bit. He was a 12% walk rate guy last year. He's probably more of like a 9.5%, 10% guy. And then he was also really lucky on the ERA. So it was a 3.06 ERA, but all the ERA indicators, the underlying ones like xFIP, Sierra, everything was a whole run higher. So he does have a good ballpark, home park. The division kind of stinks, which is also good for him. And he's got massive strikeout upside. So he's good in that respect. Only other thing I worry about a little bit is the win run support. Because if you look at that Cleveland lineup, it is pretty brutal. It's like Jose Ramirez. I like Kyle Manzardo and all, but like the rest of them, it's, it just doesn't do it for me, for most people.
Yeah. And you look at pitchers in this range of the draft. So you have Woodruff, who's really good, but coming off injury. Alcantara has been injured and good and bad, like kind of in between. The sample size on Cam Schlittler.
Schlittler.
And same deal. I mean, same deal with Robbie Ray, where he's been. I mean, he's old now. Has been really good. Has been really bad. I don't know much about Ime. I don't really like to take Tampa Bay Rays pitchers with like Pepio. They'd have to be like real cheap. Connor Griffin goes at 135 in this draft, by the way.
Showing off for the stream. I really like Spencer Torkelson. I would guess you don't have him ranked here. Do you have an infielder you really like here? No, I have him around there. It's him and Jeremy Pena, who I like a lot.
People on Twitter love this guy, this Colson, this Montgomery guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because he was like third in home runs after the All-Star break. He's phenomenal. He's also going to possibly hit 200.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take Torkelson. One, because it's just like really fun to root for a dude whose last name is Torkelson. But I mean, how often do you get this pattern of thing? Top prospect sucks, then he's good, then he sucks again, then he's good again. I mean, I guess good is a little bit subjective. No, he was really good. He didn't hit for a super high average, but 339 weighted on base average with 31 dingers last year. I really like Torkelson.
Yeah, the best part there is you saw his walk rate go up. So he was an 8 or 9% guy. Now he's up over 10. He's like, was it 11 and a half? Like, that's really good. Those are extra points there you squeeze out.
Yes. Yeah. He and I just I guess I don't know anything about their schedule, but I like the idea of Tiger Stacks. Wow. All right. Let's see if we're getting trolled right now. We got a Jeff Passan report.
I do not see it.
On nope, here you go. It's done. There you go. Breaking. Jeff Passan, outfielder / first base. Cody Bellinger and the New York Yankees are in agreement on a free agent contract. Sources tell ESPN. So there you go. Officially, we have Cody Bellinger signs with the New York Yankees.
It's funny is to go into your stacks on guys you have free agents and like, oh, did he fit into my Yankee stack or my, Blue Jay stack? That's always fun.
Yes. Yeah. So there you go. I guess immediately the change to the draft economy would be that Jason Dominguez, who is currently being projected for how many plate appearances? 420, 408, 500, 527. I mean, that probably goes to 375 or something like that.
I would love to see Dominguez, get like a full shot. I feel like he's
me too.
Kind of getting screwed out.
The Martian.
Yeah, we'll see. I think you'll see Trent Grisham hit not be an everyday guy. Right now, I have him pegged top of the lineup. I think he's going to be sitting some against lefties. Might even platoon with the problem is Dominguez was really bad defensively last season, so there wasn't really a huge reason to keep him on the field. The guy that people are going nuts about, by the way, in regular drafts is Ben Rice. So because he had this incredible StatCast page, these amazing power metrics, and because he's eligible at catcher in Roto, he's going in like the third round of 15-team drafts. There was a screenshot the other day. Somebody took him in an NFBC best ball, 13th overall. So like, we already pay that New York tax. Like New York, there's so many like Yankees, Mets, fantasy players, but like this is now getting a little bit out of control.
It's like old Dalton Varsho.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're up. We are at, what are we at? Pick 152. You got an outfielder or an infielder or a pitcher you like around here?
I think at some point, I know you might hate it, but you just take a shot on glass now, because if you have 6 other pitchers that are going and he actually stays healthy and or gives you like chunks or stays healthy towards the end. I know I saw your face. I know you didn't want to click on
No,
that.
I'm happy. I'm happy to take I'm literally forgetting his name. Tommy Shelby. I'm happy to take Tommy Shelby at pick 152. I mean, I think if you get 20 starts out of him, that's like printing at this price. If you get 13, you're kind of like probably breaking even at this price. And we're going to take 7 pitchers. I think anytime you take a Dodgers pitcher or anytime you take a guy that the first thing you say about him is if he stays healthy, you lock yourself in to taking 7. So now we have 5 pitchers. We need to make up some room at infield. Jordan Westberg is still there. Will Smith is there. Addison Barger.
You know who's getting super undervalued by the underdog community, and it's almost a little offensive because he's not a big power guy. Jacob Wilson. I mean, this dude was leading the majors as a rookie in batting average for the early part. He's going to be in the middle of that lineup. He's going to do some leading off against lefties. You've got an A stack, and whatever his projected points you see on there are way too low because all the projection systems are under projecting him. So I think Jacob Wilson is a stud.
Do you have Brendan Donovan as draftable in your stuff?
I mean, he's towards the end. He's always been just like kind of boring. I'd like to see where he lands because it doesn't seem like he's going to stick in St. Louis. I think almost anywhere he goes is going to be just like an overall upgrade for his situation. But he's not a big power guy. He's not a big steals guy. He's kind of one of those middling guys. But he does have a high contact rate. So, lots of hits, 150 plus hits, doubles and walks as well. So he's solid. I just don't go out of my way for him.
Yeah, I think that seems reasonable. 5 years, $162 million for Cody Bellinger. Hey, it's not my money. So go for it. Okay, so we now have like pretty much a full A stack because we have Jacob Wilson, we have Rooker, we have Soderstrom, and we have Butler. Now, I guess something to think about is just because of the way games are sequenced is we definitely need a 6th outfielder. I wonder if maybe we could even switch the 7th infielder to an outfielder because we have all those athletics outfielders who are going to be not scoring at the same time, right? Or having the same bad matchup at the same time in any given week. Stanton went. Stanton actually would have been a nice little fit for this team, I think. So we need 2 more starting pitchers, 2 more infielders, and then we'll determine after that or any of these pitchers.
You've got 6 more picks, right?
Yes, yeah, because we have 14 right now.
You have Bradish. It wouldn't hurt to go with Trevor Rogers, and Baltimore in the playoffs are, let's see, they're getting in the finals. They're going to get at Colorado. Not great for pitching, but whatever. They can still. The Rockies suck.
I was going to say the Rockies are so bad that it's good for the hitters, but it's not that bad for the starting pitchers anymore.
But you might get, like going on the whole 2-step thing, the 2-start week thing for 2 guys. Since you have Bradish, if you get Trevor Rogers, that could work.
And he was the guy. He was a Marlins pitching prospect, right?
Yeah, his first full season, he was out of this world. Then he absolutely stunk. Got hurt, was awful. And then last season, he was legit one of the best pitchers in baseball from June 1st on. And so I don't think fully what we saw last year was like a 1.5 ERA is sustainable, but you're still going to get, a lot of goodness from him.
Yeah. Something in the water with Miami Marlins pitching prospects. Feels like they always have like 3 of the 10 best pitching prospects in baseball, and they come up and have no control. Just like they just come up and they're like, well, I got no idea where the ball's going, but I do throw it really hard. Is Max Meyer still pitching? He's
still around. Yeah, he's still around. He's going like after pick 400 in regular Roto drafts. So.
Okay. So really good. We can take a break on pitchers for a while. We can look at infielder now. I do like the aforementioned Rutschman.
Yeah.
I put Ivan Herrera in there.
By the way, he stunk last year, obviously, but Matt McClain has bulked up a little bit. It's the best shape of his life reports,
best
but
shape of his life.
yeah, added like 12 pounds of muscle, whatever it is. But like he was so bad last year. This was like a top prospect, back at UCLA. Then came out his first year in the majors in Cincinnati, just banging. Just was on pace for like a 40-40 season. Hit almost 300. Was lucky as hell, and then missed a season. Then last year was very average. But he's another guy that I've kind of been in on this year. So I'm on the Matt McClain train again.
Yeah. And the Reds also super friendly homer ballpark. So if he did really get big, then we'll see.
The Reds, by the way, I just want to, are you on the clock? I was going to say they're for anyone that's considering their playoff week, their finals, the final 2 weeks of the season, by the way, that in Underdog, that's August 31st through September 13th. They literally get murderer's row of pitching. They get the Padres, then they get the Brewers, then they get the Brewers on the road, and then they get the Dodgers. So it's a pretty tough spot for Cincy there. So
not great. All right, we need an outfielder here. Any of these dudes doing anything for you? Drake Baldwin, Manzardo, Okamoto, Rutschman, anyone?
Yeah.
Will Smith.
With the catchers, you want guys that are probably going to get 600 plus plate appearances. I mean, I love Herrera.
Did I get him? Did I get it? Who did it take? It took Herrera. There we go.
Nice. Got
him quick.
Someone's asking, they're saying you don't meet many white American guys named Vlad. So for those who don't know, I mean, I'm Russian American. My parents came, when I was a month old. I was born in Italy on the way. Lived in Los Angeles my whole life. Baseball was my first, sport, first games I went to. My first I go by RotoGut on Twitter, and I'm not kidding you. My first gut call when I was 9 years old was that Kirk Gibson 88 home run. I said before the game, like, this guy's going to come out bat. He's going to win this game for us. So that's kind of my own, personal claim to fame, believe it or not, but that's a true story.
There you go. So everyone likes a good origin story. Man, I tell you what, the Cardinals call, if they can be like the 11th best offense in baseball, I mean, I'm trying to think, are they the only team that doesn't have anyone going to the 200s? Like the White Sox have guys who go above. I'm trying to think who else sucks. The Marlins have Stowers and Marcy.
Everyone has somebody, right? Because even the Pirates, who actually I know a lot of the Sharks
Pirates
are on for
O'Neal Cruz. I mean, the Royals obviously have Witt. I mean, their offense is not going to be good. It's going to be mostly pitching. Yeah, I mean that's crazy. That is a kind of offensive futility. I guess there's a lot of like platooning, or I guess the playing time is just very uncertain with a lot of these guys right now.
They've just been real big sellers. Like, I mean, they have no real rotation to go with. I mean, they added Dustin May, but we all know, what a head case that is. Also, right. I wonder how the red of his hair will go with the jersey, but that's a whole different story. But like, this offense sucks. Like, I mean, the pitching sucks. Like, Andre Palante is in the mix. Matthew Liberatore is their ace. So that part is bad, but they have these core hitters that are just kind of worth it, value wise. Like Herrera, Alec Burleson is also pretty sneaky. He's going to get full-time plate appearances. I think you might see a little bit of an uptick in power from him as well. And then they traded Arenado. So there's some interesting guys there.
Yeah, I was going to say, someone was talking to me the last time I streamed about this guy, about JJ Weatherholt.
Yeah.
Does he get the RotoGut stamp of approval?
He does. It's harder to click on in Underdog because you're working with a player pool 240 deep. I feel like there are other options, but he should get an opportunity there now that Arenado is gone. I mean, it kind of opens the door for him because right now it's Nolan Gorman, and Nolan Gorman's just a power platoon bat for them.
Nolan Gorman with 611 plate appearances is someone that I could maybe sell myself on a little bit, but is likely not going to get the big time. All right, there we go. We have the new, I assume, Nippon League signing. Okamoto is the best pick on the board per Slater. What do you say about that? Do you agree?
Let me see the board if you don't mind.
Yes, pick 192. where
And you need an
Akamoto went.
infielder,
Yeah, we
probably.
need an infielder. Any of these dudes, and we need at least one more final outfielder if any of
Outfielder,
these
man,
dudes
that's
are
crazy
doing.
that
Yeah.
Gurriel is even on there. Like he's not going to play the first half of the year. Outfield wise, I saw Josh Lowe on there. He's now on the Angels. I don't think they're going to platoon him. I think also Lars Nootbaar, if you're going with a little a Cardinals mini stack, guy has like a 93 exit velocity, like a 12% barrel rate, and should be leading off there and should be finally healthy. So I think he's another guy that I'm interested in. And then Cam Smith is like the kind of going for it. Like if you believe in those skills, and he's a potential guy as well.
You know what? I always believe in going for it, so we're gonna do Cam Smith. I'm assuming, Vlad, that you are out on taking dudes who are already hurt, like Rodon and Cole.
Yeah, I do enough of that in like regular fantasy, and I've just learned my lesson. I just burn myself year and year,
I was
time
gonna
and
say I've
time
learned my
again.
lesson doing that so many times.
Yeah, it's that gift. Like, do it again. I just can't do it in Underdog. Like, there's just too many ways. And I did get burned by the Harper thing 2-3 years ago, where I was just a full fade, and he ended up being like brilliant when you really needed him in the playoffs, and people got there with the Harper lineups. But with the pitchers, it's a little different, especially at their age. I know Rodon isn't as old as Cole, but there are just too many fish in that seat. There are too many pitchers for me to have to go that route.
I was gonna say I haven't even seen Garrett Cole. He season debut in late May, early June. Was he a Tommy John?
Yeah, he's got a lot. He came back and supposedly fine, but now he got hurt again. So he's like projected for May, but usually you know how that goes. They said the same thing for Ohtani to pitch, and it ended up being like middle of the summer.
Yeah,
he's in my VDP rankings on FTN. I've got Garrett Cole probably like 25 picks below his ADP, which means I pretty much never draft him.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Don't take her pitchers. All right, we are up in 4 picks. We have 6 pitchers, 5 infielders, 1 outfielder. So let's get one more infielder, and then we can kind of decide. Let's dive deep. I need your
go to my rankings.
Like get just the sleeperiest sleeper you can toss me.
You just want a sleeper. I mean, if you want like stability, consistency, I think Brandon Lowe is an okay pick there. Agustin Ramirez is super sneaky. That guy is going to play every day, either a catcher or DH, and he's kind of like one of the heart of that offense. He was a rookie. This dude
had 21 homers and 16 steals last year.
Wow. As a rookie, and didn't play a full season. He came up in like May, I think.
All right, I did not. I was unfamiliar with your game, Agustin Ramirez. I guess the
Yankees
trade. The Marlins kind of went on like a hot streak as a team for a little bit last year when Stowers was so hot, and then they felt. There you go, your boy Nez must be listening to the program because Wallner just went, so he's picking up what you are laying down. T-Bear took Rutschman, so we definitely, because we took Strider and Glass, now we definitely need another pitcher. We did take an infielder in round 1. So we have Bobby. Then we took a huge break to Suarez, Torkelson, Jacob Wilson, Ivan Herrera, Agustin Ramirez. Our outfielders are Rooker, Merrill, Soderstrom, Butler, Caglione, and Cam Smith. What are you thinking we do with our final 2 picks?
So pitcher for sure. And it feels like the infield would be the one to fill, but I'd want to see what the outfielders like options are. If there are a couple of guys that we're really interested in with good upside, we might consider, but one pitcher for sure.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with that. Okay. We will do Shane Bieber, coming back from forearm fatigue. Not great.
He's got some help. I've been doing the Emmett Sheehan just because like he's going about a pick 100 in regular drafts, and in Underdog he for whatever reason is undervalued, and I think it's concern of the 6 man. Also, there's some rumors like if they do trade for Freddie Peralta that he might be the guy going back. I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm
That'd
trying
be
to figure
crazy.
out who's going to end up being my Bubba Chandler this year.
Uh-huh.
The starting pitcher I end up going way too hard on, who never gets called up.
I don't know. There's Hurston Waldrop, who's pretty good. He doesn't have like a massive K rate, but he's going to be solid in the Braves rotation. Joe Musgrove is going to have no innings restrictions. If you remember how good
He was so
healthy
good.
just Joe Musgrove was, look at that. No strict innings cap. So I'm all about the Musgrove. If you look at Sheehan's like numbers last year, everything down to like even his swinging strike rate, his walk rate, like he's one of the guys that's going to go on to becoming the next like elite starting pitcher in the league.
All right. And like I've already forgot who said it in the chat, but someone mentioned it, that taking another Dodgers pitcher on top of having Glass now increases the odds of having two guys or one guy having a 2-start week. Because if you think about it, there are only 7 days in a week. A lot of times you play 6 games. Sometimes you play 5. Sometimes you play 4.
How did I know James was going to do that? I just knew it.
James Bean. All right. We've got
Matthew Boyd. You've got
Waldrop.
Logan Henderson has been my guy this year. So I've been tweeting about him. He was pretty good when he was called up. The Brewers just kind of messed around with him, but now he's going to have. He's kind of off the radar. He's like my 20th round guy because he's not showing as in the rotation on roster resource. But I'm a big fan of his.
Okay, but you do think he will make the rotation?
Yes, I think he'll make the rotation. You can also go with Quinn Priester on that same team. He's been pretty good.
All right. In terms of late outfielders, we've got Shaw's screwed now. We got Mason Wynn. We've got Arenado. I mean, I guess I don't know what his plate appearance expectation would be.
He's just old. He's just old.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan Aranda is probably gone, right? He's not there anymore on the board.
Jonathan Aranda is available if we want him with our final pick.
Yeah, if you want to go infielder, I think he's probably the best guy on the board as far as health, safety.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I would say one thing that is really interesting about, again, Major League Baseball best ball versus NFL best ball is there are going to be guys who play every day, who are 500 plate appearance guys who like literally don't get drafted at all. So there is a little bit more artistry in terms of like, oh, well, if you are a big Jake Cronenworth guy, then like whatever, go for it. Or if you think Jock Peterson is not fat anymore, or just like whatever it is, you can definitely feel free to take relatively lowly drafted guys. More often than you would in fantasy football. Like it's not the same thing as taking Marquez Valdez-Scantling in fantasy football at all.
For sure. Like so many players that are usually picked after 250 in drafts. Like last year, Nick Kurtz, Perdomo, George Springer was a post 250 pick. Like all these guys, I understand not the same in Underdog, but these guys were all like top 25 hitters last season. It happens every season. You nail these guys and you're getting yourself some 6 figures from Underdog.
All right. This is our pitching room. Bryan Woo, Spencer Strider, Kyle Bradish, Gavin Williams, Tyler Glasnow, Trevor Rogers, Logan, Henderson. How do you feel about that starting pitching group?
I think it has tremendous upside. I think there's a lot of kind of health risk in it. I think I know you're going to do the infielder, outfielder next, but if there's anything that sinks you, it probably would be the pitching. If anything that really kind of takes you to the next level, it's the pitching.
How do you kind of approach that philosophically? Like, so let's say I'm entering, let's not say 150. Let's say I'm going to enter 50 dingers. Are you trying to build a lot of your teams embracing the volatility at pitching? Are you trying to find, playing time gems at outfield? Playing it fast and loose and just saying, well, there are outfielders everywhere. Like I'll wait on outfield. Just kind of like, how would you structure like those 50 entries?
I feel like the one thing I would do is just be careful on overall exposure, just because no matter how strongly you feel about someone or how good you are, like predicting things every year, it's life. Life happens and things will just go wrong. Someone could slip on a banana peel at home and then that's why they're out for the year. So definitely be cognizant of diversifying as much as possible. You don't always have to force it, especially if, say, you're doing your first 20 drafts and you've got a lot of, like Luis Robert Jr., like I do. So maybe when you're, later on in your 50, your last 10, put yourself a little bit uncomfortable, click on a, Jacob Marcy there, somebody that you don't usually take, just to kind of balance out that exposure, and also mix it up with the way that you build. Like if, you don't have to go 3 outfielders, infielder, then pitcher, in every single draft. Like sometimes take the gifts that are given to you, like, Crochet falls to the 3rd round, but you really want this outfielder. Go ahead and take Crochet and kind of build it a little bit different, because most likely what's going to win here is not going to be like a traditional build that we're all doing. It's going to be something that gets weird.
Yeah. Yep. I think that is quite right. All right. Our infielder grouping: Bobby Witt Jr., Eugenio Suarez, Spencer Torkelson, Jacob Wilson, Ivan Herrera, Agustin Ramirez, Jonathan Aranda. I think I've just decided, after you literally taught me who this guy is, I think Ramirez now I think is like my favorite final outfield click.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, he seems pretty strong. I mean, I guess this is kind of how you want to build an infield room when you do take Bobby, which is like you are committing pretty early on. Like he's taken one of your 3 infield spots in the finals, and if he doesn't, you're not going to win anyway.
Yeah, and I know, I've seen a lot of discourse of the Sharps when they kind of jumped on my Xavier Edwards love, was the extra base hits and the power guys, how important they are in this format. So I think it's okay taking a guy like Jacob Wilson here, where you did, after taking 2 big home run guys like Suarez and Torkelson. So I like this infield.
Well, yeah, all things being equal in this scoring, you would greatly prefer home runs. And I guess maybe we should have started it with like a recap of what the scoring is. But a home run is 10, a double is 6, well, stolen base is only 4, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. But guess what? I mean, these are events, and actually in games like this, events matter a little bit less because it's cumulative. And the things that just statistically happen more often, hits, runs, and RBIs, they just happen more often than all of those things. The ability to accumulate singles, walks, runs, like these things matter a ton, particularly when you get out of the expensive guys. Now, like expensive guys, I don't know who led baseball in steals last year. I don't even know.
Chandler Simpson, I'm pretty sure did. And this was a rookie who like stole 100 bases in the minors.
The Rays guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Caballero. I forget, but one of those guys.
So Chandler Simpson, even if he projected for 85 stolen bases, but like 4 dingers or whatever, not really that valuable. But a dude who projects for 22 steals, 11 home runs, but 84 runs scored, well, then yeah, you really like that. So just like the ability to generate, as you get further down the board, the ability to generate plate appearances becomes more important. That becomes like defining playing time becomes more important than defining skill, more or less.
Actually, it was Jose Caballero, who's on the Yankees, and I never see drafted, but he had 49 stolen bases in 370 plate appearances, and also led the previous year. It's pretty good.
Yes, sir. All right. And I mean, as always, you should basically kind of always leave your outfield rooms feeling very, very good. We have Brent Rooker, Jackson Merrill, Tyler Soderstrom, Lawrence Butler, Jack Caglione, and Cam Smith. I mean, so obviously we're going to be relying a ton on the Oakland Athletics or the Sacramento Athletics, or the they might have to change their name because they didn't get the Las Vegas A's or Las Vegas Athletics trademark. But this is a really good outfield room. This is Jackson Merrill returns second round value, and we are printing money here.
Yeah, for sure. A's are I think they're going to mash again. It's a fantastic ballpark for them. They also get a lot of lucky hits. If you look at the team's offense, their batting averages, all these guys that typically hit like 230 or would hit 230, like a Shea Langoliers, hit like 270. But it's the ballpark. It's the the sidelines and the foul area is a little shallower, and so there's much higher percentage chance that these guys are getting more lucky hits dropping in. So all about the A's. It looks good.
100%. All right, Vlad. Well, if the people want a little bit more of your content over at FTN and elsewhere, where can the people get it?
Yeah, FTNfantasy.com. We got our MLB packages. I take care of everything. You can literally take my underdog rankings that I'm going in there scientifically adjusting every single day, and you can upload them into your underdog and jump in leagues against me, Davis, and Nez, and all these guys, and compete, and maybe come out on top of 200K. If you do any type of fantasy, dynasty, roto, points, we have custom rankings and projections. You can pop in your league specific settings, and it will give you rankings and cheat sheets and everything you need for your league. And so I'm looking over all this stuff, really top-notch stuff. FTNfantasy.com. Thanks for having me, Davis.
Hey, yeah, thank you very much for hopping on. I appreciate it. I'm gonna draft some NBA dog bowls because
Nice.
I'm pretty sure that it's going to overlay a little bit. It has the last couple times, so I'm gonna hop in to a couple of these, and I will let you go about your day, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Davis. Take care.
All right, everyone, make sure to check out Vlad's stuff over on FTN. You guys can follow him on Twitter at RotoGut, and we are gonna hop in to a little bit of NBA dog bowl action over on Underdog. So hope you guys hop on in here. Need to go ahead and upload a ranking sheet. But the dog bowl, super sick. So actually it's very cool this year. They are doing it in LA, which seems pretty sick for them to be doing it in Los Angeles. They're gonna have a lot of cool stuff dialed up for everyone. So you get to go to this is actually sick. They are doing a yacht party. So if you've ever wanted to be on a yacht with with Nick Rudman and company, I mean, you definitely can do it. But we're gonna knock a couple of these out. So the actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and pull up the unabated odds screen for these games tonight and see if we can get some injury stuff. Wow. Cade is a midday Q downgrade. All right. Cade, a midday Q downgrade. So that's it's true. Underdog just ripping off the ship chasers. You hate to see it. Yeah. I mean, get a new idea. I think we all know who came up with the idea of the Miami yacht first. Okay, so Cade is the midday Q downgrade. You don't love to see that. So let's just go ahead and take. I'm not taking Giannis against Oklahoma City. I'm going to take Jalen Johnson in that matchup against Memphis. That feels nicer to me. We got fully loaded. We got Beast Burp. We got Carved Muffin. We got Nez, and we got Awen. If you end up in LA, I'm going to have to come meet up. Where's the yacht party, LA or Orange County? I assume it's in LA, but I don't know because I'm not at, I'm not at the peak of the decision making there on the underdog party. All right, so we've got NBA dog bowl drafts, bang, bada bing. Okay. Did I get rankings updated? I did. Let's refresh and see. There you go. Okay. Got rankings in there. And let's figure it out. So in terms of the game environments today, I'll tell you my biggest guy that I've been liking early in these is LaMelo Ball. So LaMelo is, and I think he's lower down in the projections, but LaMelo ripped off a 54-point game against the Lakers and a 43-point game against the Clippers. How about this? With LaMelo and Knipple and Brandon Williams on the court, they have been the third best team in the NBA since LaMelo came back from his injury in points per 100 possessions. So we've got Jalen Johnson. I mean, John Morant, we want to do, I guess we'll do a little bit of a game stack here. So we will do Jalen Johnson and Ja Morant. Bada bing, Bada boom. And okay. So we've got, I want to pull up total here. So Cavs, Hornets, and the Cavs stink. 236 total. Nets and Knicks is 220, but look at this spread. 12 points, bro. I'm taking give me the Knicks on the or give me the Nets on the spread there. All right. Jalen Johnson, Ja Morant. It's a pretty good spot for Brandon Ingram. A slightly worse spot for Siakam. Do we want to do Duran? Yeah, we can do Duran. What do you guys think? Do we think Zion Williamson is playing tonight with the Q tag? So Zion Q tag against Detroit. I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty bad matchup for him size wise and pace wise, but it might be a good matchup for him minutes wise. Yeah, the Knicks are 2-9 in their last 11 games. James Dolan went on the radio and said it would be embarrassing if they don't make the finals. All right. Miles says he thinks Zion is up and in tonight. What's the Hawks Grizzlies total? Hawks Grizzlies is 235. Pistons Pelicans is 233. I'm going to take the bet MGM price. Man, Thunder Bucks, that's got to be like a 13.5 point spread. Ooh, who is out for the Thunder? I'm assuming that means J-Dub is out for Oklahoma City. Yes. Yes. J-Dub is out. Yeah, okay. So J-Dub out, Wiggins out, J. Will is out. So maybe we do get a relatively competitive game between Oklahoma City and Milwaukee. Yeah, James Dolan talking about embarrassing. Real. Okay. Wow, Michael Porter Jr., by the way, 16th overall. How time flies. Old Michael Porter Jr. I mean, that is really something. Yes. Sorry, you are late to the party for the Major League Baseball drafts. We're ripping a couple NBA dog bowls right now. You know what? I really like Russell Westbrook in this matchup against Toronto. I mean, I think he probably can get to like 34 minutes tonight. Daniels fits okay. Is Trey Murphy out? No, Trey Murphy already went. Yeah, let's take Russell Westbrook. Something I like doing in these dog bowls is I enjoy doing a little bit of game stacking. You know, I think game stacking is kind of fun. Just one man's opinion, but I think it builds in a little bit of upside. And honestly, for someone like me who is not like I'm not as good as Awen or Nez or whatever. Ooh, we could do quickly for the double game stack. Oh, you know what? No, let's leverage and let's say Zion doesn't play and let's do Derek Queen. So we have Jalen Johnson, Ja Morant game stack. We have Duran and Queen, Westbrook. There's probably not anyone left draftable on the Raps. Mamu maybe? You don't really need Mamu's. They don't really need his size there. So we'd probably, wow, quickly is coming off a 60-point game. The Emmanuel Quickly is coming off a 60-point game. That can't be right. Come on. All right. Let's do, what do we do? Who's my final pick here, boys? I guess Mamu, I'm kind of interested in. What is Mamu's draft rate going to be? I mean, it's going to be really low. If Kevin Porter Jr. plays, I mean, God, the floor is just so low. Kata's okay. Levine could be okay. Levine on the other side of that game. IQ shot 80% from the field. My God. CJ McCollum. GM Clay. GM. All right, you know what? You only live once. We're gonna take Mamu. 14-12 against Golden State. Bang. Jalen Johnson, John Morant, Jalen Duren, Russell Westbrook, Derek Queen, Sandrew, Mamu. Okay, hold on. Sandrew Mamu Kelishvili. Nope. All right. I'm gonna look up. Okay. Sandro Mamu Keloshvili. Mamu Keloshvili. Easy game. Easy game. Bang, bang. See, too cool knows. Too cool knows. That's the guy. That's the guy right there. Mamu. All right, we'll do a couple more. We'll see what there is to see. Man, I wish there was a sidekick for NBA Dog Bowl. But let's find out. Hey, we can get pretty niche, buddy. We can get pretty niche. Oh, it's actually funny. It's funny that you're pulling up here, Mason. They're not gonna catch me without the flock hat. They tried to catch me without the flock hat. They thought wrong. They thought wrong. All right, we're picking out of the 6 hole on this one. I guess in terms of game environments, I mean, honestly, give me Cavs Hornets as the best game environment. Hawks Grizzlies has a lot of tail risk. I mean, Raptors Kings has a lot of tail risk as well there. So probably probably what are the Cavs ADPs? Cavaliers. I don't like Mobley at that price. Tyson is probably draftable actually. Yes. I'm ready. I've been in the weeds with the prospects and Mason, I've got stuff brewing for the second channel so that we don't have to get 2G. The fantasy football only channel stuff is is underway. So we'll see. But prepare to hear from me soon on the I'll put on a suit and we will draft a big board together. All right, picking at the turn. I mean, is it worth it to take Cade here? Is it? I'm not, you know what? No. I'm going to take Mobley. I'm going to let someone else get it. And I'm going to take I actually am going to take Cat. I know the Knicks have a bit of a cat problem, but still. Ooh, one Mr. Zach Branch. I mean, let me tell you. That is a guy that I am prepared to lose on a good bit. I am big time prepared to lose on Zachariah Branch. He's just of all the ways there are to lose money. I would say that's basically my favorite is short gadget wide receivers is kind of my bit. So yeah, I would probably go that direction. Well, Nick Harbor is not even coming out. Nick Harbor is not even declaring from the NFL draft. So I think someone maybe kind of wisely told him to go back to school. All right. Evan Mobley, Carl Towns. Are they going to let me get LaMelo on this one? What is Knipple's ADP? Knipple. Ooh. We might be able to do the full game stack Reno here. Imagine if they let me win the NBA Dog Bowl. Can you imagine? Sickening. All right, Mobley, Towns, LaMelo. They did let me do it. LaMelo. Is it worth it? Yeah, let's do it. Let's take Zion. Because, I mean, the swaps are flattening out here. So Mobley, Towns, LaMelo, and Zion. I mean, dude, how bad are the freaking Knicks, dude? It's like actually unbelievable. Something I like to do in these drafts is see what other like really good players are doing. Sometimes you can kind of tell what guys have in terms of their rankings, which I think is kind of interesting, right? You're like, oh, I see what you're doing with the rankings. I see what you're doing with the combos. I probably am gonna draft like 50 of these tonight because they have I think the last two, because this is Dog Bowl 3. I think the last two of these have overlaid. And look, man, it would be nice to get a qualifier. Top 2 tickets win to the Los Angeles NBA Live Final and a chance at $1 million in prizes. If I thought about who the Chiefs should take in the first round, I mean, I hope they take an offensive lineman. My hope would be that they take a guy who can play tackle. So I guess that would be who? Who's the best tackle that's likely to be? There's just probably not a tackle available at 9. Spencer Fano, Francis Muaga, Caden Proctor. I would be happy with any of these tackles being drafted by the Chiefs. And I guess if they're not going to take a tackle, I'd really like if they took a really good edge rusher, which would be like they're going to miss on Bain. They're going to miss on Bailey. So there's this guy, Cassius Howell for A&M. Maybe they get him. Obviously don't want them to take Jeremiah Love. There's some different running backs they could get. Like they could take in like round 3, they could take Emmett Johnson. They could wait and take one of the PSU guys, Singleton or Katron. I like the idea of them getting Desmond Reed. If Love, yes, if Love goes to the Chiefs, he's going to go really high. I have no idea. I'm assuming probably more in like February. There'll be a DK version of the big board is my guess. All right. Final 2 picks, and then we're going to get out of here. Mobley, Towns, LaMelo Ball, Zion Williamson. Let's do not Derek Queen. Let's do. Was there an OKC guy who's ranked? You know what? Let's do this. Let's do AJ Mitchell and let's do Ryan Rollins. Bada bing, bada boom. Mobley, Towns, LaMelo, Zion, AJ Mitchell, Ryan Rollins. Bang. You want me to do one more? Okay. All right, Eggers. We'll do one more. Mobley, Towns, LaMelo, Zion, AJ Mitchell, Ryan Rollins. Bang. Done. Get her in. Come on in, Eggers. I would say plan on getting, I don't know, 4 or 5 more baseball streams in. Because the thing is the big board is not open right now, but the big board is going to open in 6 days, 5 days or whatever. I don't think did Zion get the midday downgrade? Zion got downgrade. Zion was just listed as Q. Cade got the midday downgrade. All right, here you go, Eggers. Here is your free expected value. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, all right. Zion also got the midday downgrade. I mean, I guess let's go check the Underdog NBA news tab. So we've got mass rest by Oklahoma City. Wiggins, J. Will out. Santi Aldama downgraded to doubtful. Herb Jones is out. Cade with the mid. Okay, Cade and Zion got the midday downgrade. Merrill, Garland, and Strus are all out for the Cavs. All right. Well, all right. Donovan Mitchell, say less. Donovan Mitchell, and let's do Donovan Mitchell and Brunson. Little bit of a flip the board there. I won't be doing big board projections, but I'll be doing big board rankings over on patreon.com/Davis Maddock. Unless you mean like, oh, well, and I have ranked, I did my top 100 already on Patreon as well. So if you're interested in seeing who goes where and what, I did that over on Patreon. So if you're interested in that, top 100 fantasy football players in 2026, trust me, brother, I'm on top of it. All right, so Mitchell, Brunson. Wow. Michael Porter Jr. and LaMelo would be the nutted picks at the next round if they let me get it. Yeah, people forget ADP chasing. Wow. All right, Miles Turner is out. Okay. Miles Turner and okay, so the Bucks are kind of waving the white flag tonight then. Because if Miles Turner and KPJ are out, I mean, I wonder if that means. Oof, I mean, God, this is a bad basketball team. Yeah, gonna have to lock in. Gonna have to lock in for last call. Can't take last place again. All right. Well, we're not gonna get LaMelo, and we're also not gonna get Michael Porter Jr. So let's go Jaren Jackson Jr. You know, Dyson Daniels has made like 73 pointers the whole season. I mean, it's not going to stop me, but it's true. So Mitchell, Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Daniels. Yeah, you're not you're not beating the mid-grade downgrade with illness. That's about as bad as it gets. All right, so we've got Kevin Porter Jr., Miles Turner listed out. All right, well, hey man, good to know. I mean, I guess glad that we're getting it earlier rather than later. Wait, hold on. We might get I was gonna say maybe Mike Zakarian, but Mike is actually about to go live as well. Baseball dingers. I agree. I mean, you know, these things tend to build upon themselves. Like I think that if they got 500K to first, then I think we would see some people get a little bit more interested. But there's a real thirst out there for fantasy baseball. Wow, Zion. Eggers taking Zion in round 5. Suspicious. Windhorse, why are you taking him in round 5 when he got the midday downgrade? Do you know something that we don't know? All right, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson, Dyson Daniels. I'm going to take Con Knipple with this next pick, and then I'm going to take Con Knipple, and then let's do Asar Thompson's kind of nice in that game. Let's do it. All right. Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson, Dyson Daniels, Con Knipple, Asar, Thompson. Well, people forget the winner's already been drafted. All right, boys. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys back